What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video live here from Guadalajara, Mexico. And speaking of Mexico, today we're going to address the elephant in the room, as you've seen in the title, the cartel chaos happening in Sinaloa, Mexico, that has just been happening these past days. Now, I know that can be disheartening. I know that can be like, whoa, I'm staying out of there. But I'm here to tell you why you shouldn't cancel your plans to come to Mexico. And maybe Sinaloa, but Mexico in general is an amazing place, with amazing people, amazing culture. And you know, I'm part of the community that wants to let you know how it really is here. And yes, of course, there are places with their problems, like everywhere in the world. I mean, you can go to Denmark, you can go to Iceland, and there's still going to be sketchy people in sketchy areas, even though those are some of the safest places on earth. So no matter where you go, you're going to have these issues. And millions upon millions and millions of Mexican citizens and foreigners who live here never go through this. So I'm going to address what's going on and let you know why you need not be paranoid. And unless you had plans to go to Sinaloa, I would restructure those plans and return when it becomes, more chill. You could probably just move that over to a different state. But I'm going to tell you, we're just going to touch on it really quickly, and then I'm going to let you know why you should not worry about these things when coming to Mexico, okay? So let's get into part one. So for those of you who know about the whole cartel situation here in Mexico, you will know that the Sinaloa Cartel is run by El Chapo, who the United States end up extraditing on different trafficking charges of illegal substances. Now, what happened recently in Sinaloa, particularly, well, it was happening around the state, but they arrested his son. Now, there was a first attempt to arrest his son. This was maybe a year, 2 years ago. And, with the pressure of the cartels being so powerful, they released him. So there was no arraignment, there was no jail time, nothing. Now, we can tie this down as a political thing. It always is. It's all political. I don't know the politics of Mexico that well, even though I live here, so I can't really speak on it. But just of what basic information is definitely tied to some political, because they extradited him to Mexico City. The reason that chaos ensued is because he is the son of El Chapo, who is the leader of the entire organization, and his son is next in line in terms of being powerful. So they didn't like it. They decided to riot, and scary things were happening. They were shooting at airplanes, taking off and arriving at the airport, and it got nuts. It even spread all the way to Mazatlan, which is traditionally a safe tourist destination. And they had Canadian citizens who were barricaded in their hotels, and the local flights, domestic flights from all airlines in Mexico were canceled to anywhere in Sinaloa. So it was a little nuts, and it looks like a war zone. I think that it's just, when it comes to these, their motives, like these politicians and everything like that, when, dealing with the traffickers, is just, I don't even know, and this chaos, it happens sometimes. But do not let that deter you from coming to Mexico. Don't let it deter you. Now, maybe from going to Sinaloa, I would think, very, very hard before doing that, because right now it's unstable. But there are plenty of places here in Mexico where you could come, enjoy yourself, and not worry about your safety. I live in Guadalajara, which is one of the biggest cities in Mexico, located in Jalisco, where there's a cartel presence. But none of that stuff is happening here. Once in a while, you'll have your things, but nothing to that magnitude. It's a little more stable. And like I said, if you're in a place that there's cartels, it doesn't mean they don't care about you. I made videos on this before, so check those out. If you haven't, I break it down, the cartel situation. But yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Millions of people travel to Mexico. Approximately 40 million people come here a year, and the vast majority of them leave with no problems whatsoever. So just do a lot of research. If you're going to a region that's known to be unstable, regions like Michoacan, Veracruz, Tabasco, Tamaulipas, the northern states, there's a lot of information that you can find before you come here, so you know which places to avoid. So definitely don't let it get you stirred up about Mexico. I know it can be disheartening, and it is, it's crazy, when you don't want to see these kinds of things happening. But if you have plans to come to Mexico, come to Mexico. If you have plans to go to Sinaloa, change them, go somewhere else, because there's plenty of beautiful places in this beautiful country. So for all of those of you who are out there wondering, about this topic. I just wanted to address it real quick. I wasn't sure how many people were talking about it, but I feel as a person who's based here in Mexico, who is your travel guide to not only Mexico, but Latin America, I need to give an update and let you all know that, yes, it's kind of crazy, but it's isolated situations, you know? A lot of people, they just, they see that, they get scared, and I understand everybody's different, but just look deeper into it. I mean, if you're from the US, you can see right now that there's crime rates rising in cities like Detroit, Miami, New York, LA, south side of Chicago. I mean, it's not exactly 100% safe. Nowhere is 100% safe, but it's all about taking a risk as well. When you travel, everything you do in your life, you take a risk. So I think that the average person coming to Mexico is not risking their life. Just be cool. Don't get involved in illegal stuff and you'll be all right. And stay away from Sinaloa and those other places I mentioned. But do the research as well. Just, there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of good information about, particularly safety information, articles on Google, YouTube, and everything like that. I even made some videos about safety in Latin America as well. So please feel free to check those out, get yourself more acquainted. But yes, I didn't want to make this a long video, just wanted to touch on that. Don't let this current chaos that's happening deter you from coming from Mexico, because it's a beautiful place, beautiful people, history, architecture, nature, you name it. I can go on forever. I'm like the ambassador of Mexico over here, all right? So that's all I want to say, y'all. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't hit like yet, I would greatly appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe, because I got more content coming very soon. You all take care of out there, and I'll catch you in the next video.